Yeah, so on this row of Cordon apple trees, again I pointed out last video, but you can see the little fruitlets. This is the June drop, well underway. So don't be alarmed if you see that, it's perfectly natural. But this one here and this one here, these were, you know, full size Cordons. Now this, but what I've done is, I didn't like the variety of apple, so I bud grafted them. Here's the bud graft. That was done 2 years ago. So once I knew it was growing and it had sort of extended out about maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches, possibly a bit more, I cut the whole top of the tree right off. Okay, so if we look at this now, you can see from the original tree we've got fresh shoots growing out at various points. There's one down there. So all these are going to compete with this bud graft. This is, I think it's Blenheim Orange. This is the apple that I do want on. The other thing of interest is that it threw out quite a lot of flowers. And it's going to try and form fruit, which in fact I don't know if you can see in there, just trying to get some room, there actually is some small apples there. So they're all competing, all that will be competing with vegetative growth or growth of this branch, which is what I'm after. I want this to extend up so I can train it up onto those wires. So what I need to do is start removing some of these little growths so that we just have growth coming from this branch, this new from the bud graft, and also take these flowers. So I'll get my tripod and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So that's just another shot of the tree. That's kind of before and after thing. So we'll get on and sort it out and come back from this angle and take another shot. Okay, let's try and work our way up with this thing. If I can, just bear with me a sec. So I've just got a kind of little utility knife. I've got those little seccator things. I've got a pair of Felcos for any more woodier growths, but if it's sharp enough, just whip them off like that. See that coming from the old variety, as I said, which we don't want. There's quite a long one here, about 8 inches long. Sorry about that, I'm just trying to get camera focused on that. And we've got one there. There's one here. Let me just pause the camera and have a look around a minute. Okay, so we've got rid of all the growths off the original, from the original tree. All this growth here is coming from the bud graft. But you can see what I mean now, is actually set quite a lot of fruit, which is competing. So the next thing I want to do is remove that fruit. We're just going to go in, snip them off. Some on the other side. Some under there, don't know if you can see that. Lower down, some more there. Okay, I think we've got them all. Now the other thing I mentioned was the flowers again, because what if I just leave them, the likelihood is they're going to set fruit. So just going to remove those flower trusses. I think that's it. Okay, so we've got fruit, we've got flowers, we've got foliage. The next thing we want to do is think about selecting a leader to carry on its journey this way. So it's more than likely going to be that shoot there. So that means we're going to have to stop these lower shoots competing with that upper shoot. So if we can get a bit of a closer shot on this one. So this is coming right down from below. This small cluster of leaves, this is a bit like summer pruning. That's the basal cluster. So what we want to do is cut that off there like that. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that process all the way up. We're left with that one, this one here, and this one here. So to be honest, we could use both, but that seems to be in a better position. Otherwise this one would have to be bent up a bit. So we'll remove the lower one, again just down to the basal cluster. And then we've just got this now as our new leader. So let's try and summarise. So what I've done, I popped a bud graft in 2 years ago. It grew out at the end of the first year, it grew out about 6 inches or something. Second year it started to grow again. So I cut the top of the existing tree off, and then this year it's sent out a lot more growth, but what's happened is it's also tried to make fruit, and there was a lot of growths coming from the old tree itself and from side shoots. So what we've tried to do is remove all the competition and try and focus this tree into putting its energy into making this grow up. I hope that makes sense, but I will come back to you on that. And on this tree, it was actually the same variety. I wasn't keen on it, and again I've done another bud graft of Millennium Orange. That's a much better apple in my opinion. Now this bud graft did take, but it didn't really do any growth. It just looked as though it was going to be a fruit bud. So I took the decision to just lop the tree off, and I don't know whether you can make that out, whether I can get it to focus, but there is a growth point coming from that bud now. So what I'm hoping is it's going to come out, and then, you know, we can sort of train it up same idea. So again, I'll follow this up and I'll show you what's going on with that particular tree. So just quickly, that's the shot, the after we've done the work. That's what it looks like now. Okay, alright, so I just want to finish with a quick look at this, one of the espaliers. I've got 3 espaliers along here. So what we've got, we've got the rootstock, the grafting point is here, and then after the first year I headed it back, and I've got 1 pair of arms coming out which are going to go onto the, well, are on these wires, and then a new leader coming up. Alright, so that's about, I don't know, 4 foot tall or something. I didn't get any arms coming out last spring. They turned into fruiting buds, even though I tried notching them, it didn't work. We've got a couple coming out. There's one there that would probably lend itself quite well to coming up at this angle, like a 45 degree, and then bending down, sort of a bit like we've done there. That one isn't particularly well placed, it's growing out this way when it really wants to be kind of that way. And then coming up the stem, I headed it back there, and there are, it's too early yet to say whether they're going to turn into fruit buds. I suspect that they are, rather than vegetative growth, but there's a new leader coming out, which again we could take up here somewhere. So at the moment I'm just going to focus on this lower set of arms. So you've got some fruit on, it's come from a fruit bud, and it's also sending quite a big shoot out. So what I want is I want extension growth on this arm. I want that to carry on growing out up there somewhere, rather than again competing with these sublaterals. So all I'm going to do again is, at the moment, I'll just cut the growing tip out, and that one, and then what we'll do, come back later, probably next month, and cut them right back to about 3 leaves beyond this basal cluster. Now on this arm, it's kind of got, there's a blossom bud somewhere, you can see it there, look. So I'm going to remove that, and then we've got 2 quite strong growths coming out. So really what I want to do is probably take that one out and leave this one as the extension growth for the arm. So I'll bring you back in just a sec. Yeah, so we've got this growth here and this growth here. So I'm going to remove that, say take it down. I'll getting ahead of myself. I'll just pinch the tip out, cut the tip out, and I'll come back in a few weeks' time and we're going to take it right out down here, just above the basal cluster. Alright, so hopefully this one can get growing. The other thing we didn't do, somewhere on here, there's a flower there, so we'll just take that off as well. That hasn't done much growth, so I'm going to cut that back later on in a few weeks' time. This one has got 3 growths on it. 1, 2, 3. This one's coming out this way, so I'm just going to I am going to cut that right back now. That one perhaps is growing quite vertically, so we could use that. but that one seems a nice continuation of this arm here. That seems to be a nice shoot there. So again, what I'll do, tip that one back, I'll come back in a few weeks and cut it back to the basal cluster and leave this one to grow on throughout the rest of the year, and then we'll tie that in. So there we go, hope that was useful. Any questions, ask me and I'll try my best to help if I can. Give me a thumbs up if it's been useful, and thanks very much to all my new subscribers, and do leave a comment. I'm going to put this away now because it's starting to rain. So thanks again, and I'll catch you next one. Bye for now.